mean and variance of the binomial distribution. So for a binomial distribution, we can represent it as some value of x that is distributed with a binomial variable, with n being the number of trials and p being the probability of success. And if we have this situation, we can get a few values for we can have some results. For our expected value of x, we get the number of trials times our probability, which also equals our mean. We get the variance of x equaling n times p, all times 1 minus p. And then we just get our standard deviation being the square root of our variance, which is just the square root of np all times 1 minus p. And how can we use these in some examples? Let's have a look at if x is distributed with binomial distribution, where the number of trials is 20 and the probability of success is 0.4, you can write it like this. First of all, we want to find the expected value. Well, we know the expected value is just the number of trials times the probability of success. So we just get 20 times 0.4, which just equals 8 for our expected value. What about the variance of x? Well, we know this just equals this here, which is just our expected value times 1 minus the probability of success. So we're just going to get 8 times 1 minus the probability of success, which is 8 times 0.6, which is going to give us 4.8. And finally, let's find our standard deviation of x, which we know is just the square root of our variance. So this is going to be the square root of 4.8, which is about 2.19. Let's have a look at another example. So if we have another score x that has a binomial distribution with parameters n trials and a success of probability equal to p, where the mean equals 14 and the variance equals 10, we want to find the values of n and p. So we're going to have to create a couple of equations here. So we know that the mean is equal to n times p. We know the mean is 14, but we don't know the values of n and p. And we also know that the variance, which is also the standard deviation squared, equals np times 1 minus p. We know that the variance is equal to 10, and we know np equals 14, and we get 1 minus p, and we can divide both sides by 14, so we get 10 over 14 equals 1 minus p. Let's go ahead and make p the subject, so we can add p to both sides. Equals 1, and then subtract 10 over 14 from both sides, so we get 1 minus 10 over 14, which is going to give us 4 on 14, which is equal to 2 over 7 for p. And then we can go ahead and plug this into this equation here, where we know 14 equals NP. So we know P is now equal to 2 over 7. So then we can just divide both sides by 2 over 7. We cancel out, and we get N equals 49. So we know the number of trials is equal to 49, and the probability of success is 2 over 7.